to be mindful of what actually is on our plate and how big those servings are. And like I mentioned, I have Gillian Stephen with me this morning. Gillian, good to see you again.
Thank you for inviting me again.
So welcome back. And just a quick reminder, folks, this segment is actually brought to you by Real Value IGA. Be sure to check them out today. Gillian.
Yes.
How was your weekend?
Good. I actually got some rest.
Good for you. Actually, I got some too.
I got some more hours in, so that was
Good.
nice. So
You're
on Monday morning, I
refreshed and
felt
you're ready.
invigorated, ready for the week. Yes.
Yeah. Good. Good. Now, Gillian, first off, I know you grew up in the UK.
Yes.
And I'm going to ask you a little bit of a personal question here. What was it like at mealtime in your household?
Well, probably not too dissimilar to yourself. I think, I mean, not to say that other cultures don't do certain things, but I think black people the world over like to eat a lot of food.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So plates piled high, make sure you don't leave the table until you finish your food.
Oh gosh, yes.
My sister was a very picky eater, and to avoid her getting beaten and for the fact that I was greedy, I would eat her food. So yes, so similar things. So yes, so I think for a lot of people it's habit. You know, if you've grown up, you know, being told about all the starving children in the world, when you muck around with your food, your plate is piled up high. It's, you know, we're all brought up to love food, and if you don't love food, there's a problem, it seems.
I know.
So,
I know. Oh, wow. Now, first off, I think what we should probably tackle is the actual portion sizes. Or I don't know if I know you have a plate on the table right now.
Yes.
So I'm going to leave the ball in your court.
Okay.
As the expert, should we talk about the plate and the size of specific before we actually share the information?
Well, one of the things is part of the problem now is that the standard size of plate is a lot bigger.
That's right.
Than it was before. Now this plate is possibly similar to maybe what a lot of people have. It's about 10 3/4 inches, and it's actually a bit bigger than you'd actually recommend. Some people might deem it a salad-sized plate, but a 9-inch plate would probably be a better size to.
How many inches would you say this plate
This
is
about 10 3/4.
10 and 3/4.
Yeah, so it's and it's being deemed as the standard-sized plate now, which is a lot bigger than possibly in times gone past.
Yeah.
So that is one thing. So one area of portion control is to use a smaller size plate. Yes, if the plate's smaller, you can only put so much food on the plate.
True.
And it shouldn't be, you know, piled up so high that there's kind of, you're having to kind of precariously balance it as you walk to the table. It's you know, it's not about that.
It's true. It's true. And I think another thing that I remember a few years back when I started watching portions and cutting down and everything. Your stomach is a miraculous thing, because once it gets, you know, if you keep stuffing, you're going to, you're like, oh, you can't breathe. And if you cut down, when you have a really decent size, not a big size, a small decent size, you get filled quicker. You know, and you're used to that. And, you know, if you find that if you change a portion size and you put on more, it actually makes you feel like you're going to explode.
Definitely. Because of the way a lot of people eat, they're not actually allowing their body to tell them it's full.
Right.
So sometimes, I mean, there is a thing about eating less, there is a thing about slowing down. You know, a lot of us rush our food. If you slow down, chances are you'll actually get full quicker. You're actually allowing your body the chance to give you that message, I'm full, I don't need any more food. So that's something to think about as well.
Yeah, definitely. Now, I know we have some valuable information that we really want to share with our viewers, because this was our promise to you viewers. And what we, first off, I know we should have an image of a plate with food on it.
Okay.
And it has a combination of various things. Yeah, there it is. God, that looks so good.
Lovely.
Now that is a really nice balanced meal.
That's balanced.
Right.
And that indicates what your portion sizes should be.
Yep.
So visualize your plate with a line drawn down the middle. Okay, you should have some starchy carbohydrates on your plate, and that should be a fistful. So imagine a tight fistful of your rice. Again, when you're thinking about your potatoes, when you're thinking about the pasta,
yeah.
when you're thinking about your corn is a starch.
Yeah.
It should be a fistful. Okay, and again, on that side, think about your protein. That should be the size of your palm, not fingers included, palm, and the thickness of your palm as well. So your fish, your lean red meat, your chicken, your turkey, that's what you should be looking at. And on the other half of your plate, let's have, say, 2 to 3 loose fistfuls of vegetables.
Yes.
That's what should be
2 to 3 people, you hear
on
that?
on your plate. That is a balanced meal, so you've got your carbohydrates, both your starchy and your fibrous, and your protein.
And your protein through fish. That is good. What did Marlon say? I know, right? You see what you should say. But now, and another thing is we do really, and this is why we have such a problem with being overweight, because we get carried away with the carbs. you know? I'm looking at that plate and I'm thinking.
And that's a lot of, I mean, I think about when I was growing up, I'd have, you know, the rice or whatever piled high, and then a little meat. I don't know if the meat was more expensive, you know, maybe it's to do with that, you know. But so yes, it's that's So a lot of people aren't actually eating enough protein, you know. Some people go the other side; they eat too much, but some people aren't eating enough. And everyone should remember, although you do need your carbohydrates, they are your main source of energy. The starch carbohydrates are the type of things that do, I mean, everything breaks down to sugar, but they are the things you should be cautious of having too much of in your diet, because those are the things that will readily go to form sugar.
That's right.
And then to be later stored
as fat. Well, folks, just in case you're wondering, we are chatting about the importance of portion sizes. And I don't know if you just, you know, saw the image on the screen, you know, cut back on your carbs, make sure that everything is balanced on your plate. Before we wrap up this segment, actually, you know, Gillian is going to reiterate again and just refresh your memory. Hey, thanks a lot, guys. And I mean, and I know the last time you were here, you were saying, you know, with veggies, you can just go wild, you know?
Yeah, potentially. I mean,
mix it up.
I mean, there is that thing of everything in moderation.
Of course.
But as you can see, there's a lot of vegetable on that plate in comparison to how much, you know, all the other bits and pieces. So yes.
And mix it up, you know. Try a new veggie.
Definitely, exactly. Colourful, make your plate colourful.
Yes.
That makes it more interesting. In the same way you'd probably do that with a child to get them to eat. You know, we too, like as adults, like colour. So yeah, make it interesting, different tastes.
Yeah.
So yes.
Yeah. I read something a few years ago, and I made a pledge to try it. And they say every once in a while, you know, you grow up eating specific things, you know. So we grew up eating, you know, when you have your green leafy, it was all about either callaloo or lettuce. And, you know, it's good to mix it up a little, you know, get a little spice in your life. And I actually started using kale. And I thought, wow, this is nice. At first I looked at it, and then I bought it, and my husband and my daughter looked at it like, yeah, you know,
I can see your daughter. I can see that. Yes, I can see that.
And you sneak it in, and you say, this is good for this, and this will make you strong, and you know, and this is not for my daughter, this is for my husband, right? But morning pledge. But you know, let's not get into why we try to get our men folk to eat healthy here. But I think it's good to mix it up ever so often.
It is, yes,
you know?
yes, that's definitely. I mean,
try a new veggie or fruit.
You get, I mean, eating the same thing all the time, you'll get bored. I mean, food is fuel, but food should be enjoyed as well. Maybe not too much, but it is to be enjoyed. You know,
it's so true. It's so true.